Hi guys, Dr. Justin Buerta, the Tattoo Business Doc. So, entrepreneurship. This is what I specialize in. My background in finance, HR, corporate governance. What do I not have experience in when it comes to business? My PhD in business management. So entrepreneurship is crucial to any economy. Any economy worldwide. If you don't have entrepreneurs, you won't have an economy. All right. So entrepreneurship in South Africa is one of the biggest job creation tools we have. The state employs the most people pretty much. Okay. But that's an old way of... in one of my videos, I will tell you about the Afrikaner model. The Afrikaner model. And you will understand why now with the ANC and democracy in play, what the National Party did on the apartheid is what the ANC is doing now. There's no difference to it. The only difference is they say that we've got a very open democracy and the most robust constitution, all those kind of things, okay? But anyway, so it's entrepreneurship. Let's not talk about that. Right. So, according to CIPC, and that there's about 2 million small business, small, medium, micro enterprises in South Africa. Now, you've got to understand that that is not really a true reflection of what it is, because with my clients, sometimes my client would have 5 businesses of which one might be operational. The other 4 was ideas that just never panned out, or it's property holding companies, or something in that line. So it makes up the largest part of the economy. We have massive big companies, but they have over the years gotten less and less and less, because if we really have to be honest with each other, I've seen companies that turned over 100 years old close doors. I've seen whole industries just disappear. If you drive around, you'll see how many of the old industrial areas are wastelands, to be honest, okay? So there's some realities a person needs to keep in mind. But in entrepreneurship, you'll find that 7 out of 10 will fail. But you never know if you're going to succeed or fail unless you take the chance. And there is so much to be said about this in terms of the gender gap. There's more men than women that enter into business. And I'll tell you from experience, women are almost better business people. They're a lot more focused on where the money goes, everything else. I mean, men most of the time, they just go literally balls to the walls. Let's just do this. I know a mate from golf or someone I sit with at the bar and whatever, and we've got this great idea. Let's go for it. And you know what? You still need a good wife behind you that will do the books and make sure you don't spend all the bloody money. So, if you also look in South Africa, our largest entrepreneurial sector right now is what is referred to as the township economy. Now, it's estimated, okay, to be about 900 billion rand annually. That's a hell of a lot of money. Now, you've got to also understand that money, the tax man doesn't see a cent from that. Okay, you don't. It's an informal sector. It's a township economy. They literally have a little shack next to the road, cutting hair, selling potatoes in a plate or tomatoes in a plate. I see it whenever I drive from my office in Boksburg, where I go to Germiston. I drive through a lot of townships that just popped up where there used to be mine dumps. And you'll see all these informal guys selling old beds and old mattresses. And I'm like, good Lord, there's a market for a piss-stained mattress? Apparently there is. Old clothes? Apparently there is. They literally put all the clothes out on the grass and people actually buy it. Old shoes, everything else. So the township economy is massively big in this country. But also what we also have now is AI. Now, South Africa, we struggle with artificial intelligence, and I'm not talking about computers. So the AI debate is kind of like a double-edged sword. It's good and bad. I mean, today we rely too much on social media as is. But social media has also become this massive platform for small businesses to actually go and advertise their goods, get their goods out into the market. I just think about boerbol. Every Afrikaner boer seentjie het vir my boerbol broekie. And they export it all over the world. Australia being the second largest market after South Africa. And other markets. Those short pants. And they kind of they market it so well. Using this old Danny going all batty for this beautiful boer seentjie and this boer boelbroekie, and it's got muscles coming out of every crevice possible. So entrepreneurship, man, it's not easy. I keep on saying it. If you have a business in South Africa and you're surviving, that is a bloody rare skill. And the rest of the world can come and learn from us. Because hell, we've got to sail past so many laws, so many restrictions. It is an uphill battle. You've got a government that has got the imagination of a toilet brush. Literally, they lack the imagination required to create the environment for businesses to grow. They are so hell-bound on, pot shotting, or taking revenge. I always say it's a tit-for-tat thing. They are so hell-bound to play tit-for-tat right now. Apartheid did this to us, so let's do this to the people that we associate with apartheid. Now, I can tell you, I grew up in the last part of it. There wasn't really any of it. In the 80s, 90s, it was pretty much spent. But now, for the last 30 years, it's been a tit-for-tat story, and business has suffered. Entrepreneurship has suffered. Because PEE does not foster entrepreneurship. All right, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And it will never. It's a doomed thing from the start. But you've got to, but also when I speak about the Afrikaner model, you'll understand where there is actually wisdom in how the old people did it. A lot of wisdom, right? And if you take that and put it into South Africa's entrepreneurial mindset right now, is that you've got to find your space within a space, right? It is odd, but I'll explain it in a different video. But entrepreneurship in South Africa, man, the world's our oyster. We have limited resources, a government that's useless, but you know what? We are still doing it. The economy is going. And that's on the back of entrepreneurs. People that has this the mind to see the gaps. And that's what you're looking for. And all you need to do is just find that one crack in the rock, just that one, and exploit it. But exploit it in a sustainable manner. All right? Know your course. Set your course and know your course. Entrepreneurship, I can talk you to death about it. But guys, you just need to understand that if you start a business, be prepared to fail. Don't fear it. Don't go into a complete panic state. Businesses fail. But out of those failures comes success. It's the old thing about, the phoenix rising from the ashes. Most business people fail. It is the reality of it. I see it. I live it. But it also teaches them. Entrepreneurship is a journey. It's not a destination. It's a journey. And I can teach you all the tricks in the book, but the thing is, I don't know what you know. I'm not a technical guy. I'm not into engineering. I'm not into woodwork. I'm not into plumbing. I'm not into electrical. But most people that have the skills are those guys. And most of them should rather be working for someone and have a business, but they need to try, because either they will succeed or fail. But you've got to be prepared to fail in entrepreneurship. You have to be prepared. And that's the biggest thing that people need to understand, is that sometimes you will fail, but you might just succeed. Right, guys, got your back, and I'll see you next session. Bye-bye.